Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your favourite football fan channel made in Manchester. Happy weekend everyone who's currently watching. I hope you're all relaxing, having a coffee or whatever it is, even if if you're having a beer early on for certain people. Sean in the chat.
Yeah,
Sam,
sure,
are we on coffee there? Is that what we've got?
No, I don't drink coffee. I'm really
Oh no, you
sad.
don't, of course you don't.
I'm too. I redlined my system when I was younger with energy drinks with caffeine, so I've got a very low tolerance for caffeine. So this is tea, as your
A
favorite
low
subject.
tolerance? What does that mean?
So
What do you mean, like?
if I have any sort of intense caffeine, I get heart palpitations. I have panic
Ah,
attacks.
right, yeah.
It's not a fun time. So
Yeah.
I stick with the
Stay
your
away from
favorite
them.
your subject tea. So
Can I just say that looks like a chocolate mug? It looks like you could eat it.
yeah.
Can you just confirm whether or not it is edible?
Uh, Oh,
No.
it's definitely
Well,
pottery. It's a
please don't
nice
snap
mug
your
though, isn't
tooth.
it? It's a good mug.
It is. It just
Yeah.
looks like a Flintstone mug. I think that's what I'm.
That's what attracted to
Flintstone
me.
vibes.
When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I like this mug. Go for this mug.
Yeah, yabba dabba do out there. Anyway, we're going to be discussing some football stuff, maybe some other stuff as well. It is Saturday, very chilled show, nothing too serious. But the biggest topic at the minute, which me and Shreyas both discussed last night, was of course Matthijs de Ligt. Now we've had a couple of further updates on that situation, so we're going to get Sam's thoughts on that. We've had an update on Zirkzee in terms of Erik Ten Hag has apparently spoken to the player now, and has that changed the dynamic whatsoever in terms of what's happening with AC Milan and United. We've also had a brief a little bit coming out from PSG side about they're not in a rush to sell Ugarte. And we've got the Euros kicking back off tonight, which we'll kind of finish the show with more towards the end, and a little bit of news around the left back. So, as always, got a nice, fun-filled Saturday. If you are in the chat and you're up for the show, make sure you smash a like on the video, just hit that subscribe button, and check out our socials as well towards the end. Now, Sam, Matthijs de Ligt, I'm sure you've seen bits from the show me and Shreyas did yesterday. Of course, the breaking news was initially Ornstein saying United are in despite what happens with Jared Branthwaite, which is very interesting. But we've also had further updates on this, saying that Bayern Munich would be willing to sell De Ligt for significantly less than the 65 million they signed him for in 2022. Man United are looking to sign two centre-backs this summer, one right-footer to play alongside Lissandro and a left-footed player to act as a backup for the Argentinian international. So yeah, just start us off with your basic thoughts on De Ligt and what your thoughts were when you saw that tweet from Ornstein.
I think I like as a player. If we just look at him as a player, I think we were all talking about De Ligt after he left Ajax, weren't we? Captain of Ajax, fantastic player. Champions League semi-final. Did he get man of the match in the Champions League semi-final?
You might be right on that one, yeah.
I'm
I
sure
cannot confirm nor deny.
But yeah, under Ten Hag, obviously. So great player. Went to Juve. It didn't really happen for him, did it? Like, if we're honest, it just didn't really happen. And then ended up going to Bayern Munich. He thought, okay, he's getting his career back on track. It's going to happen here. And he had a couple of sort of good games. And then under Tuchel, Eric Dyer took his spot.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Fucking bizarre. Like, really, really bizarre. I know he had his injuries as well. He's had injury concerns. So, from the outside, it doesn't look that promising. And then when you take the wages into account, that's another big thing. He's on what, 250, 260k a week at Bayern Munich, which I don't think any of our defenders are on anywhere near that. I don't think. So yeah, that's worrying. So the injuries, the wages, and then his lack of form, and it all combines into this. Sounds like a Ten Hag signing, doesn't it? This sounds like former Ajax Dutch guy, Ten Hag. So I think, while the kid has got talent, he was youngest captain ever. I think he got captaincy at like 20, 21 or something, didn't he?
19.
Like 19, sorry.
Ooh.
So he's clearly a leader. He's clearly built for this and stuff. Like, he's clearly got qualities that we would like in a centre back. But like, there's a lot of other factors that worry me initially from the outset. And then how much is he going to cost? Are Bayern going to want a shit ton of money for him? That worries me as well. I've seen numbers floating around like 40 million, I believe. I've seen that number floated about, but I don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah. Do you think it's, if he wasn't as expensive, so if his wages wasn't an issue, and let's say it was 40 mil, 35, 40 million, would that make you consider it more? Because you look at Ineos's model, what they're trying to achieve is the fact that, we're trying to get this wage structure a little bit balanced. You bring in someone like that, it's almost like a Woodward signing again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a name like a name that's known to world football. and the price is not bad. But are they up to scratch, and are they going to be on a massive wage? And like, how many players have we done of that? Where it's like Cavani, fantastic player back in his day, everybody knows who he is, but massive wage, past his best, I would say. Done that for Ronaldo as well. Like, there's a bunch of players where we've done that, and it's just, yeah, I'm not sure on this one. If he could get him cheap and his wages are low, and he comes in as the backup to Lissandro, I think I'd be more palatable.
He wouldn't want to be a backup though.
No, that's if that was how they were going to sell it, then I'd be more palatable to that. And then you get in a Bram Flakes or you get in a Lenny Yoro as your other starter next to Lissandro, then I'm cool. I'm all right with that. And then you say you sell Victor Lindelof to, is it Fenerbahce? You were looking at him.
Yeah.
You sell Victor Lindelof to him, and then Camboire and Maguire are your backups. I might be all right with that. That I could see that. But if you're gonna go him and buy him, and that's gonna be starting centre back, it's kind of worrying. It's kind of worrying. Like, Mark Gahey sat there. Like, I would seriously go after Mark Gahey. I think Mark Gahey sat there. I think he might be the perfect guy to go for. I think he's really, really good, and he's a left centre back as well, isn't he, Mark Gahey?
I think so. Yeah.
So I would go for something like that. Is Kim Min Jae available? Because he's fell down the pecking order, hasn't he? And we were originally in for him.
Another one. Yeah.
You know
Eric Dyer starting over. It's crazy, isn't it? I think with De Ligt, he's certainly got the reputation. And again, I don't want to cover old ground because I spoke about it all last night in terms of the education that he's had and how highly he's thought of from a lot of people. But I think what annoys some people, and I understand why in certain cases because of Anthony, is the fact that Ten Hag, it's one of them where, like, Ten Hag would definitely with Dutch connection, worked with him before, knows how he plays. I thought we was going away from that.
Yeah.
I know he's going to have a bit of a say. That's been reported by many journalists that he's not completely cut from the recruitment side of things. He's going to have a little bit of input. So this one, it's like you look at it, but then you look at Lissandro, Sam, how well he's done. I know he's been injured, but had he not been injured for the time he's been here, he's arguably one of our best players, isn't he?
Yeah,
so if you look at it in that sense, and we signed him for what, 50 mil, something along the lines of that, and you could replicate that, then I think a lot more United fans would be on board, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think Anthony has sort of stuck in the neck of a lot of people, hasn't he? Like, that signing has stunk the joint up in terms of like Ten Hag's identification of talent. Like, if you look at the others, like Mason Mount, we don't know because he was injured. So that's not you can't blame Ten Hag for that. Like, it's not his fault that he got injured. He's not the one like injuring him purposely. Onana, again, he started terribly, but I think since turn of year, I think he's been very good. And I know some people are not willing to let that go. Some people are still like, no, he's shit. He's fucking shit. He's fucking shit. It's like, he's not. He's good. He had a terrible start, and we all admit that, and we've all seen how good he's been since. Like you said, Lissandro has been great. Malacia, again, injury, not Ten Hag's fault. He tore his ACL. Like, what's Ten Hag meant to do? That's not his fault. I think he had a decent year before that, didn't he? Like, the first season, he was pretty decent. So I think his talent identification, I think Rasmus Højlund has been decent. I think we've seen a lot from him. So I think his talent identification has been pretty good. Anthony's the one that stinks of it, doesn't it? That's the one where you're like, he's
But that can happen with anything, innit?
Yeah. Like
Fergie, one out of the 6,
Fergie fucked up signings all the time. Like, we've seen Cleberson, Jemba. Like, we've seen people. Fergie did it. So
Pep signed 2 goalkeepers, did he, before he got Edison eventually. So,
and then he had who was the guy that Rashford retired?
Steve Michaelis.
Yeah, he retired him as well, didn't he? So, like, it is transfers. I think was it Steve Housen that said transfers have like a 1 out of 3 chance of being successful, which is not great odds if you look at it. Like, that's pretty poor odds. So I think, Anthony definitely should be considered and looked at in terms of like not giving Ten Hag total control. That's where you'd have like a transfer board step in and go, look, we're not paying that amount for him. I know we like him. I know he's good, but we're not paying that. And that's where you'd have that, whereas we didn't have that. But I think his talent identification is pretty good from like my opinion. I'm not sure about you, Nick, but for me, he's done pretty well.
No, I think Onana had a very shaky start, but I think he's starting to look better than what I'm still a little bit sus of certain saves he makes and his kind of unorthodox style in the way he plays, but I think he will come good. And again, he's I still think now at the time he's 28 years old, which is very young for a goalkeeper. That's like 23 for a player, for an outfield player. And we got him for 45 mil. I think that's a very good price. Very, very good price. He had this, plus the season he had with Inter.
I was going to say, he was one of the best goalkeepers in Europe.
In Europe, 28, to get 40, 45, I think that was a very good deal to do. So I'm happy with that. Rasmus, we overpaid a bit, I would say. But again, potential-wise, what you're going to get out of him the next 5-6 years in the future, probably going to be worth it if he develops the way he goes. So I actually look at the majority of signings. I'm like, I disagree with people who say that a lot of his signings have been shit. Casemiro, he didn't really want. He wanted De Jong. Let's face it.
It was a
last-minute thing.
Yeah.
And even then, that first season, Casemiro was fantastic. Ericsson was a shrewd buy on a free, I thought, when he first came in.
First season, did well. He was part of that midfield.
Did well. Yeah. So you actually go through him. It's like, I don't think a lot of them are bad. Just in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
Mount, again, you've spoken about injuries and stuff. It's not his fault.
No.
You know, had Mount had a full season, you never know what's going to happen with that situation. So I'm not saying give him full control and let him have free reign to spend whatever the fuck he wants. But I think his opinions... I don't know, he's good with young players, isn't it? You look at his track record. Manu, Garnacho, De Jong, De Ligt, Donny, fucking Ziyech. Go through all of them. He works really well with young players. So obviously he can spot talent. And De Ligt's still only 24.
Yeah, and you see him with Camboire, who came in, looked great against Liverpool and West Ham and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I
always forget about Camboire.
Ethan Wheatley got minutes as well. You've seen Harry Amas and who's the other kid? Toby Collier and stuff like that. Like, first team training, been on the bench and stuff like that. By the way, if you want like an insight into Harry Amas and Shea Lacey, go check out our thingy I made public. It's on the channel somewhere. I'll drop a link in a minute when we finish with this bit. But yeah, go check that out. So yeah, you're right. I think if you're young or you're a player who's not quite reached their prime yet, I think that Ten Hag is an appealing prospect as a manager because you know you're going to get opportunities and you know you're going to get time to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know your thoughts on De Ligt. I know a few of you were in the show yesterday, me and Shreyas did, but obviously we've had a couple more developments on that, so let us know your thoughts. I'm going to go through some comments now. There's quite a few in the chat, so please do smash a like on the video. We've just hit 5,700 subscribers as well, which is really good. Aiming for 6,000 within the next month or so, so that'd be amazing if we could do that. My Damn United, as always in the chat, big up your legend. I hope you're good, mate. He's saying, if it's a big if for me, Sonny D hasn't got an underlying issue that Bayern are keeping quiet so they can play us for mugs again. Then an in-possession backline of Leach and Brandflakes, Sonny D is that De Ligt, I'm guessing?
I think so.
In reference to, fair enough. I like the name. Yeah. I mean, I said this yesterday, Sam. I'll ask you the same question. What player has gone from Bayern Munich and been successful?
Yeah, it's not a good track record.
Not a great record, is it? And we know firsthand with Schweinsteiger as well.
Yeah, it's Madrid and Bayern don't normally let players go unless there's a reason.
Yeah.
So that's a worry.
Red flag for sure. Manuel Ugarte saying, big up Nick and Sam. Great. Hope you are good, I'm guessing. Yeah, thank you for that. A lot of people being very nice in the chat. Everyone coffee and chip butty on the go. De Ligt over Brandflakes because of the price. Still want another centre back though to rotate. Sell Harry and Victor. Not for the prices I'm seeing though, like 8 pennies in it for Lindelof. What Turkey are offering.
He's on the last year of his deal though, isn't he? So that affects things quite a bit.
Matata United's getting a little bit impatient, saying we'll take anyone. Just want the here we go. Yeah, I feel that. I think we need to get everyone on transfers.
I think you'll see a lot more after June 30th. Because that's the deadline for the PSI and stuff like that. So I think you'll see a lot more signings after that.
I agree.
So July.
Do you remember when James said July 1st when we did a show with him? Yeah. It's like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Sean, Nick, if you want any pointers for Dan, hit me up on Twitter. Pretty sure I follow you. I'm a seasoned vet, been 24 times. I will take you up on that offer because I do need some.
24 times, Jesus Christ.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So I will definitely take you up on that offer. I'll drop you a private message after this, and you can give me some advice. How has Eric Dyer managed to displace De Ligt and Kim Min Jae? I don't know. Apparently, I haven't watched Bayern closely. I've only seen, obviously the Champions League a bit. Apparently, he's done all right there. So, yeah, I don't know. It is a bizarre one. Dyer's taking anyone's spot just proves Tuchel is a turbo mong.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Oh, dear.
You know what? I didn't see the second half of that. I just read it and I was like, oh, right. Okay, now, Jesus Christ, Sean. No Shreyas on today. No, Shreyas is watching the cricket, actually. I think there's a very
Yeah.
important match in Test cricket with England and India. So, yeah, he's spending his time doing that. Chewy's in the chat. I spent all of September last year in Dab. That's what I was setting up. Okay.
I think that was there was a comment from, where are we?
There's so many comments. I'm just
I'm trying to find it. Rumor has it there's a bondage gaff in the dam called Chivy School of Suckers for Control. That's from Sean.
Ah, right.
And then
okay.
I think that's what Chivy was referring to.
Yeah, so that's me reading a comment out of context there. Yeah, absolutely get that. Reese Julian says, De Ligt to me is a must-have. Yeah, he used to play for Ajax, but at 24 he's a leader. He's proven to be world-class. Plus, as a ball-playing centre-back, he allows us to have more composure at the back. Lumen, I will blame Ten Hag for bringing Onana to our club and chasing away De Gea. I blame Ten Hag for Anthony. I blame Ten Hag for not using Amrabat. Let me just a quick reminder, De Gea, for all the fanboys of De Gea who love him, don't forget
history.
What happened towards the end of the season. People have got very short-term memories. The mistakes he made against like Sevilla, West Ham, the FA Cup final, Everton, like near post, there was a lot of mistakes, and he can't play out from the back. So,
penalty shootout in the Europa League final as well.
Yeah,
did not save a single one, and they went on for like 10 penalties, and he didn't save a single one.
And then missed the one that is in the dance as well. Brian Gates in the chat, afternoon, lads. Hope you both well. Busy news day today. You know these shows, mate. They just they have their own kind of rhythm, don't they? I think once we get Ashworth, we're able to run more efficiently. Plus, Barada could work wonders in the market. Road to 6K before the Euro ends. Hopefully. Sunny delight. Yeah. Hopefully before the Euros we can hit 6K. That'd be amazing.
By the way,
anyway.
On De Gea as well, why has no club signed him still?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
No one in Europe. Club. Crazy. Right, we'll move on to Joshua Zirkzee because, again, we've had an update from Damartio on him, Sam. Erik Ten Hag has spoken with Joshua Zirkzee in recent days and considers him one of the most important targets to strengthen the Manchester United squad. This deal is obviously still ongoing. But my question to you is, do you think with the Dutch coaches going in alongside Ten Hag, that could also have another big pull? The chance to work with Ruud van Nistelrooy for a young Dutch striker. Pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're a Dutch striker and they go, you get to work with Ten Hag, and you're like, he's a good coach, and he's so fit. And then they go, but also we're bringing in Ruud van Nistelrooy, and you're like, okay, I'm in. I'm fucking in. You son of a bitch. I'm in. Like, that's the kind of
you got there. You got there.
Like, so I think that could definitely be a pull for him. Like, if it's not, then he's clearly not watched his Dutch history or his striking history. As a striker, you've got to be like looking forward to working with Van Nistelrooy. So I'm hoping that sort of sways him a little bit. Obviously, there's the little thing with AC Milan. Apparently, they're out of the race, or it's frozen because of the commission thing, the commission price or something like that. So you seem to have a clear run at it, as far as I can see. I've not heard of any clubs sort of coming in for him or anything like that. So yeah, it seems like it's a deal that's just a matter of time. And I think the release clause is active into the beginning part of August. So we could see it drag into July, but I expect us to make signings in July. I think first couple of weeks of July, you might see a signing. I think we'll get somebody, and whether that's a centre back or whether that's Zirkzee, I think you'll see someone join us. But yeah, it's interesting, man. It's intriguing because lots of more legit journalists are picking up on it. So Romano's been on it. Damartio's been on it. Ornstein's talked about it. So there's clearly something going on because these guys don't mention something unless they're sure 100% that something's going on. So hopefully it's just a matter of time. Like that. I hope that's all it is.
Well, prior to Ineos coming in, this is something that, even with United with an open run at it, with a release clause.
Previous regime. Yes.
They've just been like, they'll still fuck it up.
Yeah.
But surely you've got to get, this has got to be one of the first deals. They were saying they want to get 2 in before pre-season. Yeah. That is one that should definitely be it. Maybe Ugarte is the other one who we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, I think working with Van Nistelrooy, it's like saying to one of us, do you want to work with Wayne Rooney? We'd be like, oh my God, yeah. And it's weird because Zirkzee's nothing like Van Nistelrooy in terms of a strike. He's almost the opposite.
Yeah.
He's very unselfish. He's more like a 9.5 and a 10. So that side of his game he needs to work on. So I think that could be, I'm not saying it because he's a United fan. I think him and Højlund under Ruud, could develop into absolute killers. So I'm excited for that, and I think he should be excited for that. And hopefully we can pull him over, because I'm looking at the striker market now, Sam. Like, who else is really available around that price who could compete with Højlund?
For that price, there's not anybody proven, or not anybody where you're like this potential that is young and then stuff like that. Obviously, because Sheshko is gone because he's signed a new deal, so he's pretty much out of the picture. Your only other name that I've heard bandied about is Ivan Toney, but he's going to cost you 70 plus million. It's like, how old is Toney? 26, 27?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in his peak now, so he'd have to hit the ground running, whereas 24 for Zirkzee, he's still got time to improve, to get his game up and stuff, and working, like I said, working under Ruud van Nistelrooy could only help him. So I think it's a potential. It's not an exciting signing. It's not an exciting where everyone's I know a lot of people are slagging him off, but I think this is the kind of signing United need to look at. We need to look at players who are less known, who have a bit of potential, some raw edges, but we can like develop them into top class players and get some sort of like value for them. We need to stop with the superstar signings because they just don't tend to go well.
Well, it seems like they have a kind of limit to what they're going to go on each player, or at least what the first bids are going to be. Because you look at Ugarte.
It seems to be 30 and 40 million, doesn't it?
35 was the bid, for Ugarte. Flakes, what was his first bid? 35 plus 8.
Yeah.
It was. Zirkzee's release clause, 34 million. So they've obviously got a price range. You know, if they could get 3 players for 100 million, rather than United typically get 3 players for 240 million, you look at like Sancho, fucking Anthony, etc. Then it's smart. I like the business. I think you get Zirkzee, De Ligt, and Branthwaite for like just over 100 million. I think that's really good business.
And then you sell Sancho, Greenwood for 30 million. There's 60 million return. So your net is really, really small, your net spend. And then on top of that, maybe you get like Donny gone for a couple of mil, Lindelof for like maybe under 10. Wan-Bissaka could go for 20 odd million. Yeah. So you could make that up quite easily. And then you're right back in it 1st of July. Like you've got money to spend, and then you can go out and get a DM. Like Ugarte, you can go out and get a right winger, maybe. You can go out and get a replacement for Wan-Bissaka, or your left back that you're looking at, like a Kirkez or something. So if they run things correctly, you can operate in this market. It's just whether we can get those bids and get them accepted and get players out the door at the same time.
So one piece of business I look at is in the centre-back market that I think was really good and we should have been looking at. I remember Ralf Rangnick suggested him at the time, Akanji from Dortmund. City got him for, I thought, 15, 20 mil, I want to say, something like that. Yeah. You want a backup centre-back, he's fucking top draw to bring in the team for that amount. And I'd love to do a deal like that. I just don't think there's any about at the minute. So delay, I would consider.
How much did they get Ake from Bournemouth? 20 million, 25?
No, it was a little bit more than that. But I remember at the time, a lot of people was like 30, 40 mil for Ake. What the fuck are you talking about? And he's gone on. He's been a fucking fantastic player for him. Yeah. Been really good. So yeah, City know how to box clever. We need to start learning how to do that. Just on Ugarte, obviously we spoke about it the other day. It was more. A lot of the stuff that was coming out was very positive around him. I think Uruguay, ESPN were putting stuff like very close, kind of pushing it a lot. We've had a little bit pushback from PSG side, Sam, saying that they're not in a rush to sell. There's a couple of clubs who are after him. Do we need to be a bit more balanced in this? Because some people are getting a little bit carried away, aren't they, with the Ugarte deal?
I think he's like we saw with the centre backs. It was like Branthwaite was the first target identified, wasn't it? It's like that was the first one, and then we saw the Euro links, and now we're seeing the Matthijs de Ligt links. So I think that that's how United are things like that. We've got here's the first target, and then if that doesn't work, we've got B, C, D. Yeah, so I think
doing what regular clubs do.
what you're supposed to do as a fucking club. And then I think you've seen that now with your defensive midfield. So Ugarte is the sort of clearly the number one signing that they think, okay, we can get him for a decent price. He wants to come. He would fill the position well. He's exactly what we're after. Ball winning, tackling. He's happy to sit and screen the defense and then get the ball out and play with Kobbie Mainoo, Mason Mount, or Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno, whoever it is that you have. And think, get that going. And it's like, that's clearly a good talent identification. I know we've been linked with a couple of others, but nothing this strong. So maybe his names will start coming out now after Ugarte. Yeah. Like if there is a bit of pushback from PSG, we could be like, look, this is what we want to pay. He wants to come. We're interested. So if you want to come to the table, there's the thing. If not, we're going to go look at other player, ex-player, Onana from Everton, for example. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not saying we're going after him, but I'm just saying as an example. So I think that's how we're operating now, which I think is the best way to do it. We need to have other options, and clubs need to know we have other options, and we're not going to overpay, and that's our only target anymore, which is how we operated in the past. I'm glad that this is the way we're doing things.
Yeah, I was reading a thread on Ugarte last night because I hadn't seen much. I've seen bits for Uruguay and bits for PSG and a little bit for Sporting, but not like proper. So I had a look into it, and I put it in the chat, and I really like this description from I can't remember the account who did it. I wish I could because I'd put it out there and advise people to go watch it. But just search for Ugarte thread. I think it was a CFC account who did it. And that H2O who works for the Overlap retweeted it as well. He's a really good analytical kind of guy. And in the paragraph, it read like this, said, in essence, Ugarte is an elite defensive midfielder with outstanding ball-winning numbers, relentless endurance and stamina, safe in possession, can elude pressure and forms a safety net in the team's attacking phase, and can deal with transitions really, really well as well. So if that doesn't sound like a player, that you would want kind of alongside a copy mania, I don't know what to tell you. And I think for 35, I don't know what it is, Sam, with like South American players in that position. They just seem to really flourish in it, don't they? We mentioned this the other day.
It's an aggressive position, and with South, I don't want to stereotype South American players, but
come on, yeah,
that is the way they're inclined. They have
Tevez, Lissandro, the fucking list is.
They've got a very short fuse, put it that way. They're not calm individuals. And the videos, I've seen a clip of him going around calling Messi a cocksucker. I'm like, yeah, I can get down with that. I could definitely get down with that. And he's doing the hand gestures and everything. So I was like, I could get down with that. So yeah, he sounds like a good sign. If we get him for like a decent price and he's wanting to come, and he's there was a Romano thing saying he's all right with no Champions League football, which is good.
Yeah.
I like a player who's like, I want to come and just test myself. Like, I'm not here for the money in the biggest competitions. Like, so, yeah, I'm hoping it's a deal we can get done, but I'm hoping we have other targets in mind in case this doesn't work, or in case PSG want to sort of try and rocket the price past 60 million or something like that. I'm hoping we've got other targets.
Well, there's quite a lot of United fans this summer who are already surprised, aren't they? The names, like, no one expected Ugarte to come out.
Nah, no
one expected De Ligt to come out. No one expected Zirkzee, really. It wasn't like a hot name like a month or 2 months ago when we was just, speculation about certain strikers. It was all about Sesko and a couple of others. So, they seem to be, moving a bit more quietly on these, aren't they?
I've just seen Newcastle are trying to sign Anthony Elanga. Interesting. Have we got a sell on?
So they're going to sell the biggest Swedish star. I think we did with Elanga. I'm pretty sure we did.
There you go.
5-10% or something. But yeah, they've got Chelsea talk to sign Isaac, aren't they? From Newcastle, because they've got to sell. They want 100 mil for him. Yeah, they want 100 mil. But yeah, would it surprise you if Todd Bowley figure? Sam, just talk to me about that left back, Miguel Gutierrez from Jordan. Someone's at the door delivering. I'll be 2 seconds.
Gutierrez, I've heard names sort of like put out there, and like I don't know much about the kid, to be honest with you. Like, I've not seen a lot on him. I know he's highly rated by a lot of clubs. I'm sure he was at a major club's academy as well. I'm sure he might have been Real or Barca or something like that. But yeah, I don't actually know a lot about him. But I'll let Nick sort of fill in the thing. I'll read some comments out why he's not here. Shreya, shout out to Shreya in the chat. Malacia, we don't know if he's fit. Shaw hasn't been around for English training. Greenwood's green personal terms Valencia move. I think we're moving to a centre back at left back like Aki at City. Maybe could be interesting. Brian Casey, integrate all the leaks have stopped since they changed the structure upstairs. Exactly, Brian. Like, stuff that gets out is like you don't know anymore. So I'm well happy with that. Lissandro would have knocked him out. I think they talk about Kyle Walker in the FA Cup. Yes, definitely a South American aggression there. Yeah, I was just saying I don't know much about this Gutierrez thing. I've not heard much about it, and I don't know much about the player. But maybe you've got more stuff on him than I have.
Yeah, I think he's only kind of just come into the past year or two. I want to say in terms of like elevating his level. He had a really good season with Girona. Obviously, they've got into the Champions League. He's young. He's aggressive as well. Sorry, just ran up the stairs out of breath.
Was he at a major academy? Was he at Barca's academy or Madrid's academy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a few clubs kind of sniffing around this player. They like him. He's got a very good age profile. He's more of a modern wing back as well, can step into midfield, can hold the width, and obviously the problems that we've had at left back. This is a player, he's got release clause 30 mil as well, Sam. So we're talking about boxing clever with them prices. Again, another one at 30 million quid. So that seems to be any player in Europe now. That's like, if you want to narrow down Ineos' search, 30 to 40 mil, they're the players we're looking at, essentially. So, yeah, I think a left-back's definitely needed. But can you see him spending that amount of money on it, considering the other targets?
Yeah, because the only other left-back I've heard is Kirkes. He's the only one I've heard. And he's about, 35, 40 million himself. So that's the only... That's the only one I've heard. So, yeah, it's clearly right. I think left back is probably fourth on the list. I
agree.
I think you've got centre backs, 2 centre backs. It looks like we're going. Everybody's saying we're never signing 2 centre backs, but it looks like we are. Like from what I can see, it looks like we're after 2. And then obviously defensive midfield is the second one, and striker is equal second or third. That's your top 3. That's the positions we're trying to fill. And obviously, I think left back is probably the one after that they're gonna look at.
Yeah, I think you look at what they're trying to do. What United, when they bought Maguire for 80 million, what they should have done is bought 2 decent prospects for 40.
Yeah.
Who were, in Europe, had that kind of just getting to that level, like Lenny Yoro, for example. That's what they should have done.
Maguire was worth about 40, 45 million. Like, that was what he was worth. But because Leicester were like 80 million or nothing, and then we paid it, that's what he ended up going for. But he was worth about 40, 45 million.
Yeah, agreed. Lovely to see so many of you in the chat, by the way. Hope you are all having a fantastic weekend. I don't want to cover all the comments that Sam's been through, so I'll circle back to the comments. I just want to talk about the Euro fixtures today, Sam. Let's have a look. We've got Switzerland and Italy, then Germany and Denmark at 8 o'clock. Thoughts on them games? Because obviously we play, don't we, the winner of Switzerland and Italy.
Italy have looked piss poor, if I'm honest.
Yeah, just been meh, aren't they?
Been great. Like, they've got some great players, but none of them have really showed up. Chiesa hasn't showed up. Barella hasn't really showed up. Bastoni's been good, I think. The centre back's been solid. I think Donnarumma has been all right. Like, they've
he's had a good tournament.
But yeah, Italy is just lacking for me, and you can tell the reasons like why they've not sort of qualified for the most recent World Cup and why they've struggled and stuff like that. So yeah, I like certain players in Italy, but just not for me. Switzerland always seem to get into these like quarterfinals, don't they? Always seem to just make it in, and Shaqiri just seems to show up at tournaments and just
Xhaka as well. Xhaka's done really well for him. Yeah.
Who's that guy who also shows up? The goal scorer, the guy who scored the absolute worldie. Is it Bolo? Is that his name?
Embolo,
yeah.
The striker, so, just come back from a massive injury.
Yeah,
Embolo.
So they could do something there. I could well see. I don't know if you call it an upset, but I could see Switzerland beating Italy. I could see it, like really could. And then Denmark, I think this might be a step too far against Germany. Like, Germany have looked really, really good. They did get put on the is it Hungary where they scored a last minute equaliser?
No, Hungary scored in the last minute against Scotland, and they was playing. Fucking hell, it was Switzerland, wasn't it?
Was it Switzerland? No. Might have been.
It was Germany playing the last game.
It was Switzerland.
Yeah, Scotland played Germany, Hungary.
Yeah.
Was it Switzerland? Yeah.
It might have been Switzerland, but yeah, they were like losing 1-0, weren't they, for ages? Yeah. And then Fulkrug with the header at the end, wasn't it? They put a great ball into the box, and he got his head on the end of it, scored an equaliser. So I think while Germany have looked, while Germany have looked good, they are vulnerable. It seems like they can be beaten. Like, they got a last minute winner because they went direct. So yeah, I think they should beat Denmark. Like, I like Denmark, obviously. Højlund, Eriksen, United players. I know I would like them to go through because it makes it easier for England potentially. If we got through. But I think Germany beat Switzerland, and I'll go for the upset. I'll say Switzerland beat Italy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I could definitely see that, though. Definitely. Flex Dax Greenwood says, hi, I'm new here. Welcome to Flex. Welcome. If everyone wants to give Flex a nice warm welcome, welcome to the community. Hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. Nice to see so many kind of different names in the chat, as well as the usual legends as well. But yeah, I think Italy, for me, when I've watched them, they've looked okay. You know, they've always got them technicians in Barella and, you know, even the centre-backs are really good. Calafiore and Bastoni, like you mentioned. I've liked the look of them. But it's a striker. They haven't got that killer up top. You know, I think the last game they played, that one from Girona, not Girona, from Genoa. I can't remember the guy's name. And they played Raspadore, I think. Again, not proper, like, full-on number 9s who score a lot of goals. So I think that's... If you don't have a guy who can put the ball in the back of the net in tournaments like that, you're going to struggle.
Defense is great. Like, defense is... What is it? Strikers win your games and defenses win your titles. But in tournament football, you need a goal scorer. Because otherwise you're going to go to penalties. And you can't just penalty your way into the thing because eventually your luck runs out. So I think... You need somebody to score your goals, and you need to have goal scorers in your team. And yeah, Italy they seem to have a lack of it, unfortunately. With Chiesa not sort of hitting form at all. Like, I thought he would come in and do well, but since that injury, he's not been the same player.
No, I think you look at Switzerland's attackers as well. Like Endor, who we've been linked with at Bologna, another player at Bologna, has been doing really well in this tournament. He's kind of been shining. And Bolo, like you touched on, yeah, they set up tactically really well, I think, and they've got like experience in Akanji and Shah at the back. So and Sommer, who's had a fantastic season with Inter Milan as well. So yeah, that's interesting. I'd probably agree. I think Switzerland are going to win that, and then the Germany Denmark. I just see the Germans just going right through, just right through. I think Nagelsmann has them set up perfectly, and I think Denmark can be flaky at times. And that kind of German steel, the midfield, the Gundogan, Cruz. Talk about experience, my God.
Denmark haven't looked good in any game. Like, against us, didn't look great, but again, England didn't look great. Didn't look good. They drew with Serbia, or they draw with Slovenia. Which one did they draw?
Drew both, I think.
I drew with both, yeah. So
I thought,
just haven't got going Denmark at all. So yeah, it's probably the end of the road for Denmark, sadly. But I would like
at least Haaland and Eriksen go back in it. Like,
I would like them to knock Germany out because again, it'd make it easier for England if we get past Slovakia. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff we've been speaking about with England, Sam, has been balancing it. Like, we can't seem to get the right balance in the team. Yeah. Germany have that spot on.
Oh yeah.
Musiala, Gundogan, Wirtz, and Havertz in your front line. The amount of rotation you've got there. I think he's brought that new left back in. I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Mittelstance or something like that? Who's brought that kind of width. Yeah. Jonathan Tah, really good at the back. Kimmich in there with experience. Neuer.
Schlotterbeck's a great
player. Schlotterbeck's very good. Fulkrug coming off the bench. You talk about killer number 9. Germany just have it at the minute. It's it's at their home ground in that sense. Yeah. I can't see anything else.
It's theirs to lose, isn't it? Like, it's their tournament to lose at this point. I think Austria is probably the one that give people a run for the money. Like, they were my dark horse pick, and they seem to be the most organised, the most exciting team to watch in a minute under Ralf Rangnick. But yeah, it's Germany's tournament to lose because Spain have not looked great. They've had moments, but have not looked great. Portugal have looked awful. Especially against Georgia, they look fucking. I don't know what happened there, but they looked disgraceful there. So yeah, I think it's probably Germany's to lose at this point. But
yeah, Dino's asking who Austria got. They've got Turkey.
Yes.
In their next game, and I think they beat Turkey as well. Let me know, everyone in the chat, who's your favourite top goal scorer and to win the tournament. Sam, as it stands right now, you've watched obviously the majority of games.
I would love Austria to be in the final. I would love to see that. And then let's put Austria, Germany. Can we do that?
Austria, Germany. Oh wow, that is a final, isn't it?
For many reasons. There's some history there, isn't there?
Definitely some history there. Yeah. Jesus, Rangnick's the manager as well, who's a German. Fucking what an awkward one that is.
Yeah,
my God.
So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a team like Georgia get there. Like, that'd be fantastic. See Georgia get to the final. I'm well behind Georgia's like my team at the minute. I fucking love watching Georgia. Kvaratskhelia is a fucking hell of a player. Their goalkeeper looks sick as well. Like, I really, really enjoy watching Georgia at the minute. So I think I'd love to see Georgia in the final. That would be great for me.
And then, to be honest, the majority of games I'm looking at, they're all like favourites should go through. So England, Slovakia, I'd expect England to go through. Spain, Georgia.
You'd expect it.
Yeah, expect being the key word, of course. But Spain have looked really good. I'd expect them to go far and beat Georgia, although I'd love to Georgia advance. France, Belgium. I don't know with that game. I think France have been a bit underwhelming though as well. They've not been like.
but Belgium have been even worse.
Oh, they've been shit.
Belgium have been
They've
terrible.
been dog shit. Yeah. Portugal, Slovenia, again, Portugal, and then Romania, Netherlands. You'd expect Netherlands to win that spot.
But Netherlands.
I hope it doesn't. I hope there's a couple of shocks in there. I really do. So it makes it, exciting.
Netherlands have been poor as well, though, haven't they? Netherlands have been really poor. So
yeah, against Austria, that was a good game though. I thought Austria were really good in that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people kind of siding with Austria from just watching them. They're excited by the way they play. Some of the teams like France with the talent they've got, England with the talent they've got, are setting up in this kind of boring way where you're like, the players that you've got, you should be fucking killing teams, doing what Austria doing, being brave, going for it, and you see, they reap the rewards when they get results like that. So
Georgia as well. Georgia are all about they commit guys forward and they want to score and they want to try and like win games, whether they concede or not. They just want to go for it, and it's just like I don't understand why more teams aren't doing that, because it's way more exciting and it gets you behind the team way more than a team who just sits back. Like I'd prefer the football to be played that way. If in my opinion counts for anything.
Portugal and Georgia, says Shreyas, that's who he's rooting for. Greenwood wants Valencia deal. I mean, Greenwood speaks about 9 clubs at the minute. I don't know where that's going. Fofana is similar money to 25 million euros required to sign Amrabat, mate. Good shout to cover. Yeah, I like Fofana. I think that's one to keep an eye on. Germany to win. Fulkrug top scorer. Yeah, who did you say top scorer, Sam? Who do you think?
Top scorer. Who's top scorer at the minute? Is it own goals? And own goals is top scorer.
Well, own goals is technically, but everyone's got like 2. There's loads of people with like 2 goals, so pretty shared at the minute.
Yeah,
could be a bit of a surprise, couldn't it? I think.
I'm not sure. It's a tough one. There's no strikers really standing out, are they? Like Harry Kane.
Everyone's saying Fulkrug in the chat. Yeah. Everyone thinks
Fulkrug. Maybe someone like Nico Williams. Maybe he's looked lively, hasn't he?
That's a good shout. Yeah. I'm just having a look just to double check.
Oh, Ryan Casey, Georgia striker has 3. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's it. George striker, Mikotweze, I think his name is. You got Gakpo on 2, Musiala on 2. I'm trying to think of what ones who were going far, and then the rest have got 1. So Fulkrug, Gakpo, Musiala, and Mikotweze.
Kane's got 1, hasn't he?
Yeah. Who?
Kane's got 1, hasn't he?
Yeah, Kane's got 1. Yeah, he scored against Denmark, was it? The first goal, a bit of a ricochet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exciting times. Football back on today, Thursday and Friday. I was saying to Shreyas, I was just throwing a fucking ping pong ball off the wall. I didn't know what to do with myself. It was like, it's so weird. We're having so many games per day to having absolutely nothing. You're just like,
there was no, like, UFC to watch. There was no wrestling. Like, there was fucking nothing. I was like, right, what the fuck do I watch? So I ended up watching, you watched The Boys, Amazon Prime.
No, I've watched the first episode and I want to watch the rest. I've only ever seen one episode.
So I've seen season 4 is out, so I've started watching that. Which, if you're into like dark superhero shit, it's well worth watching. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. UFC's on tonight, going to be fire. Yeah, great card tonight. Alex Pereira in it, and 2 absolute fucking just savages fighting each other. Is it a rematch? Is it Ponzi? I can't pronounce the guy's second name. It's 2 guys who were just like
Ponzinibbio?
Warriors, like old-fashioned warriors. Yeah, I think Ponzinibbio or something like that. I think that's going to be really good. So loads of sport on today. I've just caught up on WWE as well from last night, the whole Bloodline shit. So yeah, I'm enjoying this weekend so far. It's been good. Any plans, Sam, before we head off?
No.
We chilling.
Enjoy the football today. We need to film before you go away. Possibly we need to film a members video or something. We need to do something.
Yes. So if anyone has any ideas in the chat, something they would like to watch, any content, now's your time to get it in within the next 2 minutes before we end the show. So get it in and we'll take a look at it.
My Damn United has just put Ronaldo is crying, can't score for Toffee, passed on the rest day to play Georgia for goals and blanked again. Want off kicking water balls.
I'd drop Ronaldo. I'd drop him. I think he's a hindrance to that team. No, he won't. But I think you could tell he just wants the goal. That's all he's asked about. Everything else, even when people score, he don't even really celebrate it. It's just like, I'd drop him.
I'm backing McGregor to retire and sail off into the sunset from Brian Casey. There you go.
He's done.
I did put a poll in the chat. I said, who would you rather have, Branthwaite or De Ligt? And we've got 52 votes, and De Ligt is winning 56% of the vote, with Branthwaite 44%.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
True Detective is a very good show. I agree with the one with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
First season is great. The rest of them, shit. First season.
Yeah, first season's fantastic. One of my favorite. And Matthew McConaughey is my favorite actor. So yeah, big fan of that. What did I said towards the end? Oh, it was content, wasn't it? Content ideas as well.
Maybe, yeah. If you guys, you want a transfer sort of like breakdown on players, you want a versus on players,
yeah,
you want
head to head, anything like that.
Something with the youth players? Do you like? Just let us know what you guys fancy or something, and then we can get that filmed for the member. I mean, people, if you're not a member, you can make your comment as well. But obviously, to see it, you'd have to become a member. So.
Yeah, and if you want to do that, just click the join button next to the notification bell or the link in the description. Right, guys, we'll leave it at that. We hope whatever plans you have got this weekend, we hope you all enjoy it. Again, let us know about the members video. Drop us a follow on socials, and yeah, we'll put some stuff out. I'm going to be away, like I said, from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we'll try get as much kind of pre-recorded stuff out as we can. We'll
do a Sunday social on Sunday without Nick, like me and a bunch of the lads will come on, and then obviously you'll get your new shows on Monday night, Tuesday night. So yeah, you won't miss any content, even if Nick is following flying clouds somewhere in Amsterdam.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You're all a bunch of legends. Take it easy. See you in a bit.